Hi, I'm Julia and this is my shed. So today's job is to work on the Britannia coupling rods. So in the kit I've got the front coupling rod which has been fully machined, but as you can probably see the finish is pretty poor. There's a lot of machining marks. These bits haven't been blended in very well. And overall they're pretty scabby looking, so we need to finish those. So that's the front ones. The rear ones we didn't get at all, so I've had some laser cut blanks made by Model Engineers Laser. They were lovely people, nice to deal with. And obviously these need a lot more machining. I'm quite glad I looked at the drawings actually, because what I thought happened here was it's just an overlapping joint, so like 50-50, but actually when I look at the drawing it's a fork, so we need to machine it a hole in there. So wasn't expecting that, so that's interesting. We've got the basic fish belly shape, but we need to thin this area to match this one. So there's quite a lot of machining involved, and the other thing is obviously we need to get the holes very exact. So the actual wheel centres are supposed to be 7 7/16 apart, so I'm going to check that on the chassis now, and if that's exact, because it could well be, because it's all CNC machined. If it is, then we'll just make this part exactly to the drawings. Not sure if you can see, but I'm going on the front edge of the axle boss, and that looks exactly 7/16 there. So I've checked the rear as well, they're both the same, so we'll go with that as the axle positions. So we'll make it to the drawing. So I've done a bit of measuring up just to see how things match up, and what we've got really is classic Modelworks. So all the linear dimensions are in inches. So the distance between these two holes is 6 and 15 30-seconds. So I've got 15 30-seconds there. So 7 minus the 1 is 6. So that distance is absolutely spot on. But all the hole sizes are metric, so this hole needs to be drilled 15 and then bushed down to 11. This end is an 8mm. If we look at the front coupling rod, this is 20mm and needs to be bushed down to 16. This is 16 that's been bushed down to 12. So, you know, they've been quite pragmatic in how they've done stuff. Obviously it's a lot easier to get metric drilling equipment these days. Okay, so I've got it all set up for clamping. So I've got two really very big clamps there, so that should hold it nice and solid. I'll get the wiggler out next and make sure that the centre lines of these are in line with the axes, and then I'll drill one hole, zero the DRO, and then use the inch scale to get our 6 and 7, whatever it is. So that's both holes drilled out. Didn't get a great finish on the larger one, but I did slow the speed down a bit, so it's hopefully helped further down. Okay, so that's the holes drilled reasonably accurately. I used my stubby carbide drills, so hopefully they shouldn't have wandered off too much. What I did forget to do is the back side of here has a 30-degree countersink on it. So I need to remount these. I mean, that's less critical than the 8mm holes. To recenter the 8mm hole, I've just put the 8mm stubby carbide drill in, so you can see that's dropping down nicely. So we can say that's centered. And I haven't got a 30-degree countersink, but I've got a 40-degree countersink, so I've just sharpened this up on the tool and cutter grinder. Hopefully it's good enough to do the job. I'm not really sure what speed to run this at. Probably quite slowly. I think I'll probably run it at I'll try 280. See how that goes. Can always drop it down if it's no good. So that's gone in really nicely, actually. I'm pleased with that. I fed it in 2mm, which is 5/64 as per the drawing. But yeah, I think we've got quite a nice result there. So I'll repeat on the other one, and that's that done. I'm going to make the slot with a slitting saw. This is the biggest saw I've got that will do, which will go the depth. So it's 1/8, so I need to go, which is about 3mm, and it needs to be about 4mm. So I shall cut in the middle first, and then I'll see if I can sort of make the slot slightly wider. If not, I'll have to use a different sort of milling cutter. That's the slots done. Just needed a little bit of fettling with the file, but it's all looking good. Countersinks look like they've come out really well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So the next job is to thin out the centre of the connecting rods, coupling rods. We're going down 1.6mm. So I'm going to do that in 3 passes. What speed are we running at today? We are running at 540. I think this is a high-speed steel cutter, so that's plenty good enough. So I've got pen marks here which you can't see, but they're basically the flat section. So I'm going to do the flat section with the big milling cutter. I might file the rounded section at each end. I'll have a go at that and see how that pans out, otherwise we'll get a milling cutter on the job. Okay, so I've done the second side now. I found some 1.6mm brass sheet that goes all the way underneath to support it. So hopefully that's stopped it flexing too much. So I've done both sides of this one, so we need to do the next one now. So I've just roughed in the curve part on just this side with the files. Doesn't look too bad, but it does need a lot more cleaning up. As do the rest of the coupling rods. They're just in an as machined state from the kit, and obviously I've just machined these now. So we just need to get the files out and the emery cloth and give them a really good seeing to. So I hope that was useful. I mean, that was very quick go over with the files and the sanding drum on the Dremel. That's already quite an acceptable finish. I will carry on with it, but as you can see, it doesn't take too long to go from that to that. So we'll just keep at it. I've got some emery paper as well, so I'll get emery paper wrapped around the files to get into these rounded sections. But yeah, overall that's come up quite quickly. Okay, so that's sort of the finished result. I haven't got these very even, so I'm not very happy with that. So I think next time I'll use a milling cutter to get these rounded off bits. I just wasn't accurate enough on the with filing. But we've got quite a nice finish now in comparison to sort of a machined finish, like we've got on this, or perhaps that one. If you can see the finish there, but it's quite poor. So yeah, not perfect, but good enough I think for this project. So leave me some comments, let me know what you do differently. I say this is the first time I've done this, and mistakes were made, but it's always a learning experience. I'll do a better job on the next project. So yeah, like, share and subscribe, and hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.